This is the Dharma talk from Laungphor Thongbai Phapassaro in Wat Naluang monastery in Udonthani, Thailand. Today the topic is the purpose of the right practice. I want to cut and chop the knowledge. The knowledge that what we know, we need to cut them and chop them to a million pieces. The knowledge is stay in the middle. It's not right or it's not wrong. And now we chop this knowledge. Like we kill a cow and then we cut and chop the cow in the pieces. We will chop the knowledge to many pieces until we can see that this knowledge is the right knowledge, the Samma, and which knowledge is the wrong knowledge or the Miccha. Like people teach knowledge, people command knowledge, people order knowledge, but never see knowledge. So that knowledge is the wrong knowledge, is the Miccha knowledge, not the Samma, not the right knowledge. Only the Buddha that can explain about it, and then he can prove this knowledge with this Dharma, and that's called in Pali naluang. The thing that happen and appear like this, like that, and live like this, like that, that's the knowledge. So what is the knowledge like this, like that? What is this? Like this, like that is Sapphe Sankhara Anicca. All the Sankhara is impermanent like this. Sapphe Dhamma Anatta. Why everything is impermanent? Because everything is non-self. Like this. Like that. So like this, like that. Why we bring them to prove? Because this kind of knowledge, when we know, then this knowledge can make us to end birth and becoming. You know, all the knowledge in this world, all the knowledge, all education in this world that people study and know, it's like the intelligent, but finally everyone attached on this intelligent. Actually, the avijja, the ignorance, is non-self, is nothing. But it can happen because we attach on the knowledge that we have. And then we think that the impermanent is permanent, the suffering is happy, the non-self is self. That's why avijja, the ignorance, happen. How could we enlighten if we don't know about this? Yes, we know, but we don't know ithappaccayata. Ithappaccayata is like the original cause and effect that make the suffering happen. And now we cut the stream first. Don't bring the knowledge to be your enemy. Don't take your teacher to be a devil. And don't bring your master to be a demon. Right now, every day, people just bring the knowledge, their teacher, to be a robber and destroy the world. Digging deep in the ground, eat the sky, eat the water, eat the fire, become the devil of the world. So now listen carefully, because I will not hold it back. The knowledge that make avijja, the ignorance, happen, is the knowledge that don't know sapphe sankhara anicca. All the sankhara is impermanent. Know nothing about this, but believe that the knowledge that I have only bring me the benefit. But don't see something that no benefit inside the knowledge. Because if your knowledge give you the real benefit, why you still stupid? Why you are a slave of the greed and delusion? This is the point to prove. If you have the knowledge, good exactly, you must stay higher than this. But now you live lower than the defilement. You are the slave of the defilement. That's why it's more foolish, more silly to live like that. Consciousness is no, but the consciousness doesn't know what is the happiness, what is the suffering. That's why it's become the avijja, the ignorance. So move a little bit closer. Just only one word, knowing. This word, a mother teach the children, and then the children treat the grandchildren. It's like keep teaching, only knowing like this. It's running, it's like the chain. But nobody talking about sapphe sankhara anicca. All the sankhara is impermanent. No one teach about this. If nobody teach about this, then the knowledge that we have is like the parasites. This is the stupid knowledge. This is the knowledge that make the body drown it under the bad karma. So in the brain and the heart, we keep the knowledge in a brain and a heart, put them stay there. And finally, the brain has the fire, and the heart has the suffering. Because you keep the suffering in there. And when the brain has the fire, and the heart has the suffering, and you keep the knowledge with them, where is this knowledge formed? You don't know. Because I studied like this before, I see it before, I know it before, I just live like this, stay like this. And finally, this knowledge is a stupid knowledge that all the people keep knowing in the same way. Listen like this before. I read this before. I remember this before. Some people teach me before. If it happened like this, don't blame the other. Because the other, their brain is not safe, and their mind is not free from suffering. Because the suffering that we talk about is the knowledge. The knowledge that doesn't have sapphe sankhara anicca. All the sankhara is impermanent. They cannot cut the stream to know that this knowledge is the right or the wrong knowledge. I'm not analyzing the world, but I see the world just live like this, be like this. But when listen to Arahang Samma Sambuddho, the Buddha that enlightened by himself, oh, it's so different world. Because between Ahankar, Mamankar, ego, self, and concise, compared to the Arahang and the Buddha, it's different world, totally. The dark corner and the bright corner, you can see how it's different. So now we need to listen and pay attention that what we listened before, what we knew before, what we understand before, this is not enlightened, but only the defilement and the bad karma stay inside there. Because they don't know sapphe sankhara anicca, sapphe sankhara dukkha, sapphe sankhara anatta. All the sankhara is impermanent, all the sankhara is suffering, all the sankhara is non-self. It covers the brain, covers the mind, covers everything. That's why the Buddha enlightened, and then he opened everything. And then he can share Dharma to the world. The other cannot share the Dharma to the world because they are still covered. They still move to this, move to that, but no one can open the closed thing like the Buddha. It's like in the past, before the Buddha ordained, he was a student. He went to Takasila town, and then there are 27 teachers teach the different knowledge. The Buddha, that time he was a prince, he took about 6 months to study with the 27 teachers, and finally all of them run out the knowledge, no more to teach, no more education to give to the Buddha, because their knowledge is cover everything, move to this, move to that. The knowledge that did 27 teacher give to the Buddha is the knowledge that stay in permanent, stay in happiness, stay in self. That's why all of this knowledge stay cover. So the danger that I talk about, yes, this is the knowledge, but this knowledge is the wrong knowledge, with the wrong understanding, the miccha titti. It's not the samma titti, the right understanding. So that's why I want to open the way for you for the right way of the practice. If you have the right practice, then your brain much free from the fire, and your heart much free from the suffering, and you have the right knowledge. What is the right knowledge? First, we need to know about the viccha, the insight first. Because when the Buddha enlightened, the knowledge happened with him, the wisdom happened with him, the viccha, the insight happened with him, aloka, the brightness happened with him. And now we will talk about the viccha. Now we need to compare between the viccha or the subject and the viccha is the insight. These two words is really close, but it's so very different. So the subject is mean like all the education that we study for us to have the knowledge that can making money and live in the world. But for the Buddha, he doesn't have the subject like that, but for him he has the viccha or the insight. He said, before the insight never happened with me, and now it happened with me. It can compare, it's like the brightness from the firefly and the brightness of the sun is very different. The subject or the normal knowledge from the normal education in the world is like the brightness from the firefly, but the viccha is like the brightness of the sun. This is the insight that the Buddha have. So for the subject or the viccha, in the subject is like we study. So it's like example, in the tree, in the forest, there are like million trees in the forest, and then you study about one tree, and then you know this tree very well. You study in the body, you know the hair, so you can look after and take care of the hair very well. And the other, they study about the teeth, then they know about the teeth and can take care of the teeth very well. So it's like a different part, different knowledge, different education. This is the subject in the world. So that's why we put the value in the knowledge that we have on the individual person. That's why they can pay money for people work and have the career and for education. Depend on who's gonna produce anything with the knowledge and selling in the market. And the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body just keep selling the good thing to each other. So all the whole body, the whole mind, just for making money, just to do like this. This is called the viccha or the subject. And now the world is consumed subject, never know what is the insight. But the insight that the Buddha has, he has like the 8 insights. First is like the vision knowledge. See clearly in impermanent suffering and non-self. And the second, he has the super power knowledge in the mind. can bring the mind travel in everywhere in the world, in everywhere in the universe. And the next one is like he has superpower, can do something like a miracle, make it happen, that the normal human cannot do it. And have the special ears, the divine ears. He can hear every voice in the universe, in the different dimension, in different realms. And he can know the mind of all the being, from the human to heaven and to hell. He can know the mind of everyone. What are they thinking in the mind? And can recall the previous life. And know the karma of all the being. And the last one is he know how to destroy the defilement in the mind. So this is the vichya or the insight knowledge that the Buddha have. No one know, no one see like the Buddha. If no one know about this, so is the ignorance or avijja happen. And then we blame avijja, we blame ignorance. But actually, avijja is not difficult, because avijja is come later. Then we say like we study about avijja, the ignorance is like the darkness. It's like the stupidity. Actually, the avijja, the ignorance is not dark. But because we study only the subject, the normal subject that never know about the avijja, the ignorance, that's why the avijja happen, the ignorance happen, the darkness happen. We study with all the subject and attach on with the subject, and then we keep knowing in this subject. We don't realize that in this subject have the avijja cover them. So in this point, be better to make the right practice happen. So we will study and learn. Yes, we study to have the knowledge with the subject. The knowledge is like the feather of the bird. The bird can fly to the sky because of the feather on their body. It's the same thing with us. We study with many subjects and have the knowledge, have education, and then we can make money, earn money from the knowledge, from our education, make us to survive in this world. But this subject, this education, this knowledge is totally different from the Buddha, because the Buddha, he has the vichacharana. It's like the insight knowledge, and this knowledge is not for making money, making food or produce anything, but this knowledge is about to destroy the defilement, destroy the suffering, and don't let any suffering get inside the mind. That's why it's called vichacharana sampanno. So the Buddha is like the perfect one, with the insight and with the manners. So if we practice and walking on the right path, on the right practice, follow the Buddha, maybe you can succeed with the 8 insight knowledge, or you can have the 3 insight knowledge, no problem. If you reach to 8 knowledge, so you are the Arahant. Or you can have the 3 knowledge, or have the other kind of Arahant like Sukha Vipassako. Or you can practice until you have more special power, have apinya, the special knowledge. So in this point, the Buddha happened because he enlightened with the vichya, the insight, and with the vimutti, the liberation. So listen about this first, to remove the suffering. The vichya, the insight, and the vimutti, the liberation, only stay with the Arahant, and can enlighten, can success, can achieve, can liberate. How could it reach there? It reaches to there by the perfect mindfulness and by sampochong. You know, in the high school they have the knowledge for the high school. In university they have knowledge for university. And then if you study to be a professor, you have the knowledge of the professor. Actually, it's the same knowledge, but just different potential. But now, the knowledge, the insight of the Buddha, this is the knowledge to close all the bad karma. Viccha and Vimut, the insight and liberation, but it happened 25%. It will destroy the bad karma. The bad karma that make the mind sad. The bad karma that make the mind stay deep inside the defilement. The bad karma that's the attachment. And the bad karma that make the mind stay in the five hindrances. All of them is the bad karma. When we know like this, we listen like it, we understand that all the knowledge that we have is lie. It's cheating. It's deceiving on us in our mind all the time. Can you feel that? Can you see that? Make the mind have mood and emotion. Make the mind have love, hate, delusion. Good or bad happen. Love and hate happen. Delusion and loss happen with the mind. All of them stay in with this bad karma. That's why you are so poor. Your mind is poor, your heart is poor. It's like the fire burning the tree. If the tree not die but almost die. If the bad karma happen like this, it's burning the mind. If you are not stupid, for sure, you almost stupid. If you are not die, now you are in coma. Then we are lost with our knowledge. The bird deluded with the feather, and the human deluded with the knowledge. The bird can fly around the sky and think I'm the best one. And then, not so long, the bird fly around the sky and get to the net and get in the trap and die in the trap. The trap never catch the bird, but the bird just fly to the trap. The trap never catch any animal, but the animal just running to the trap. It's the same thing for us. All the subject, all education, all the knowledge that we have, we learn, we study before. We use this knowledge, we know this knowledge, we apply this knowledge, and then we never know that this knowledge have the ignorance cover. And finally, we attach to all the knowledge that we have. It's like the trap. It's like the lust eating the iron and the defilement eating the mind is the same thing. So you need to be patient to listen to this. If you be patient, then you will be the noble one. But if you cannot pass from this, you will be a normal people as the same. The danger from defilement, the danger from bad karma, the danger from five hindrances, the danger from ignorance, all of this danger happen from the subject. All the teacher in the world cannot teaching about this, because all the teacher is the slave of the defilement, slave of the attachment, slave of the bad karma, slave of the ignorance, so they cannot teach about enlightenment. A blind person cannot tell the way for the people. If the teacher is not enlightened one, they cannot teach the other to be enlightened. So that's why the subject that we have, the knowledge that we have, is like the bad thing in the mind. Yes, we know, but what we know in this knowledge is the darkness. Like you think you stay in the open air is bright, but actually you stay in the darkness. You think you know, but actually you are lost with the knowledge. Because this is the micchaทิฏฐิ, the wrong understanding. It's not the sammaทิฏฐิ, the right understanding. Why I bring the Samma Patibat, the right practice, because this is the clean and clear way to do. Samma, Samma, Samma is not Miccha. Samma is the right, Miccha is the wrong. Sapphe Sankhara Anicca, all the Sankhara is impermanent. Sapphe Sankhara Dukkha, all the Sankhara is suffering. Sapphe Sankhara Anatta, all the Sankhara is non-self. This is the Samma, the right practice, the right view, right understanding. But for Miccha, the wrong view, they will see that permanent, happy, and self. They see as Nijjang, Sukhang, Atta. That's why people love to consume it, to make it happen, and collect them in the mind. Nijjang, Sukhang, Atta. Don't do anything, but just follow me and understand. And now, what you know, what you see with the subject and knowledge that you have, education that you have, now you almost die. You live very long already. But all this knowledge, this education, how many percent that they can reduce the defilement that you have? How many percent of attachment? How many percent of ignorance? How many percent of the five hindrances? That your knowledge can destroy the defilement, can destroy them. Have you ever know about this? Or you think, oh, I'm waiting to die, and then next life I will get enlightenment later. If the subject, the normal knowledge, stay in any place, anywhere, then the happiness in the mind will happen. But when the vichya, the insight happen, any place, anywhere, then it can make the mind feel lighter, feel uncomfortable, because it's the right understanding. That's why the Buddha tell the monk that, listen, the monk, the subject, the knowledge, the education that you study or you learn before in the past, or the knowledge that you have in this present moment, have you ever take a look inside that this knowledge have any danger inside or not? And then no one can answer this, because no one see the knowledge have any danger inside. They only guess and prediction what it is, what is that in the knowledge. Buddha said, Ime Dhamma Kusala, this Dharma is the good karma. Ime Dhamma Akusala, this Dharma is the bad karma. Have you ever know this? But no one know about this. That's why the Buddha says, if you don't know about this, so the avijja, the ignorant, cover your mind and make your mind fall down and stay in the bad karma, stay in the suffering. So cut the good karma, cut the bad karma, cut the body, cut the mind. When you attach in the good karma, you attach in the bad karma, you attach in the body and mind. So all the attachment is heavy. So no more. We need to cut all of them. Cut the good karma, cut the bad karma. Don't carry anything in the mind. No attachment with them, even though they're good or bad. Because when you attach, you carry the goodness. You attach, you carry the badness. When the carry or the attachment happen, the same thing happen. It's heavy. You carry the rock and you carry the gold. The same heavy. Yes, good karma is good. Morality, faithfulness, meditation, wisdom, good merit. They are in a good way, good side. But if we attach on them, it's heavy and cannot get enlightened. Or in other words, it can make the self and ego happen with the goodness. I do a lot of goodness. I'm better than the other person. It can happen like this. So therefore, don't attach in the good karma and don't attach on the bad karma, because they are heavy. So what is the insight? What is the right understanding? What the knowledge of this? Sapphe sankhara anicchati. All the sankhara is impermanent. The Buddha will happen, or the Buddha will not happen. But Sapphe sankhara anicchati. All the sankhara is impermanent. Always live like this, stay like this, be like this. Have you ever know about this? Yes, Sapphe sankhara anicchati. My sankhara and your sankhara, all of them is impermanent. Before we were born, or while we are born, or after we were born already, but the sankhara just stay like that, live like that, impermanent all the time. Though the Buddha will come to enlighten in the world, or the Buddha did not come, but the nature of the sankhara will stay like this, impermanent. Have you ever know this? This is not your knowledge. This is not your intelligence. If you understand it, you will not attach in the good karma. You will not attach in the bad karma. No delusion with goodness and badness. Even though the subject or insight, no attach with them. You don't attach with them, so the attachment cannot come to you. The defilement cannot stay with you. But now, if we don't have the right practice, we don't follow the right understanding, and then what we practice, what we follow. I like it. This is raga or lust. I don't like it. This is dosa or anger. And I don't know what is this. So this is the delusion. So this is the way that you want to live and stay. And what will you enlighten? Except waiting to the dead, to bury and burn this body. How could you escape from being normal people? The world only have the subject for you to learn and study, and the good karma, and stay around with this, with the goodness, with the subject, and keep doing this, keep eating this, keep making this. Like a vulture only eat the dead corpse, dead body with the rotten body, fighting to eat the dead body, like the vulture. And the same thing with the mind. If the mind consume and keep eating the goodness, eating the badness, good karma or bad karma, and running around like the circle, so finally this mind get in the trap of the devil, cannot go further, only stay in the trap of the ignorance of avijja. So now you listen and understand or not. Don't die for nothing, because this life you were born to be man and woman already. Cut all stupid, cut all intelligent, no more all of them. If you cannot cut stupidity, if you cannot cut your intelligence, finally you stay in the delusion. The first danger that becomes a big obstacle for enlightenment, this danger is the five hindrances, the naluang, a big obstacle to block the way. The sensual desire, the anger, sloth and torpor, restless, doubt and question, they are the five hindrances. It's a big and heavy obstacle. All the trap happen because of the five hindrances. But now we want to eat spicy, sweet, bitter, salt. We want to enjoy with the six senses. We want to see the picture, the sound, the smell, the contact. And then we create and make more five hindrances happen. You know the six senses, the sensual pleasure, desire, the form, the sound, the smell, the taste, the contact. This is the place where the naluang, the five hindrances, they stay inside already. As long as we only know the knowledge from the subject that we learn, we study, all of this knowledge only support and feed to the five hindrances. Feed more sensual pleasure, desire, feed more anger, feed more sloth and torpor, feed more restless, feed more doubt and equation. And then how could you get enlightened? How could you be free from the suffering? What can make you enlightened? For enlightened, I will explain by the language. Like the word arahang mean break the knowledge, break the delusion. Even though know also break, don't know also break. Breaking both of them, kill all of them. When we kill the knowledge, we kill the intelligence, then the stupidity also die together. So when the sunset is dark, when the sunrise is bright, it's like the couple, like the packet. So therefore, if you let go the merit, then you need to let go the bad karma. Let go all the goodness. I eat good, I live good. We let go all of this. So then you can get in the stillness of the nirvana, not going to hell. I say like this because I want to remove the stupidity in your head, make the smart people happen. Otherwise, you will go to show off your stupidity and your intelligence to each other. No one can touch each other. Cut and make a coolness. See and let go. Cut and make a coolness. This is vichara, the insight. See and let go. This is the atta. See the self and let go self. So cut the knowledge. When you cut the knowledge, then the insight will happen. See the body and let go the body. Then you can remove the self. Because the knowledge and the self, these two things are very heavy. Because the knowledge that stay with the ignorant, that blocking all the being, cannot go to the path and the fruit and nirvana. So in the morning, open the mouth, I have this. And at noon, open the mouth, I will take this. In the evening, open the mouth, I want this. But never know what is cover the mind, never know about the ignorance, never know about the craving, never know about the defilement that cover the mind all the time. And you just keep feed the food to them. More food until the defilement is getting bigger and stronger. And your heart, your mind is more thinner, more poor. And finally, the defilement can defeat you, can beat you. You know, every day the defilement point the finger on your face and say you are very stupid. You are stupid. But you never know. You only lay down and let them step on you. Let them beat you up. You know, if the defilement attack on you, the defilement tie you up. The defilement set you in a trap. You know, it lies the pig. The pig that's sending to slaughterhouse put all the pig on the truck. The pig doesn't fight, don't do anything until sent to slaughterhouse. All of pig is die, no matter what, male or female. And now you have the eye, have the ear, have the nose, have the tongue, have the body and mind. But it's the same thing like the pig that's sending to slaughterhouse, going to be killed. This is not insulting, but in fact, it's like that. The monk is a pig. A lay person is a pig too. It's better to say like this. If you want to be the one of my family, you must be patient with my word. Because I will beat you again and again, hit you again and again. You have the path, the fruit, and the nirvana are the essential. You will stay. You don't have the path, the fruit, and nirvana as the essential. You will go somewhere else. You cannot stay here. If you want to cut their head, you need to cut your head first. Because there are no problem. But you that have the problem of the tanha, of the craving. There are no problem, but you have the problem with craving. Because if there are no problem, but you have the problem with craving, but you want to kill them, but because you have the problem with yourself with the craving. But if you destroy your craving, then the problem cannot happen with you, cannot happen with them. There are no problem, and you are no problem. Because you destroy, you kill the craving, the tanha already. All of them is empty, no more. If you are disappear, then the other also disappear. If you extinguish, the other thing is also cool down. The Buddha is the first one. It's like the sunrise or the sky is bright. When the sun sets, everything is dark. So there's cause and effect happen from the sun. The fake knowledge, if we get involved that I know, I see, it's me, it's mine. This is the tanha, the craving, the real problem that make all the problem happen. When we remove the thing that live inside us, the tanha, the craving, and the problem, even though the goodness and the badness, the good karma, the bad karma, no attachment with them, let go all of them, and cut all of them. No attach, no trap. Even though in the wisdom or in the intelligence, if we read to this point, we will see the sapphe dhamma anattati, all the dharma is non-self. They are live like that, they stay like that. They cannot be the other. So there are no suffering, no happiness. When the mind read to this point, that means the right practice is make the mind end of knowing, but only let go, extinguish, and only have the coolness. So now, can you end off knowing? Can you let go everything? Maybe you sell your stupidity and you're dead. Don't sell your stupid. Don't show off your dead. Because right now, we selling or stupid to the other, and we show off the dead to the other. Selling yourself to the five hindrances. Why I talking? I stop. Because I want you to listen and know. Know and see, know and see. Know and follow, know and follow. Know and understand, know and understand. Know and cut, know and cut. Know and let go, know and let go finally. I don't talking like in the concerts. So your knowledge must know immediately, know quickly. If you don't know immediately, then your knowledge will fall to water, fall to fire. Fall to water, it will be drowned. Fall to fire, it will be burned. The mood of love that had the subject for 100%. When it happened in the mind, in any moment, that moment is the avijja or the ignorance. Any subject, any knowledge, if we are lost, if we deluded with that knowledge, so that knowledge is the avijja or the ignorance. That's why we cannot bring the subject, the all education that we study before to get enlightenment. And then we let the sankhara that we have to be nijjang sukhang atta, to be permanent, to be happy, to be self. And then we consume it again and again. And we cannot see how long, how big, how small, how many years, how many lives it's gonna be like this. The past, the future, the present are in darkness. Don't know the past, don't know the future, don't know the present moment. This is the power of the knowledge that makes us to fall down and stay in the circle of the suffering, in the birth and becoming. This is ithappaccayata, the original cause and effect. It's the right Dharma to practice. The one that know it, reach to it, they can get enlightened. Don't need to wait for a master, teacher, father, mother. When that person reach to there, then enlighten there. The Buddha explained the right Dharma already. But the disciple don't dare to do it. The disciple don't talk about it. The disciple don't practice it, don't get into it, and don't enlighten. That's why we only see the bad luck. Like niccang sukhang atta, permanent, happy, and self. This is a bad luck. Where is the permanent? Where is the happiness? Where is self? Can you find this? We take self to lean on the thing that non-self. And then later we will realize that, oh, in the whole life, everything that happened with self. If it become non-self, it's no more self. No more birth, no more death. It's so amazing. Can get enlightened so easy. Not like the knowledge that we try to carry on. Where will you carry your sankhara? The hair, the nail, the teeth, the skin. You will carry them to where? Die by yourself, burn by yourself, bury by yourself. Understand in your mind, is that clear in your mind or not? Understand the Dharma and see the discipline or not? Because we are sitting here, not like the sunset, but now it's like the sunrise. I offer you so many things, but if you don't want to come out from the suffering, it depends on your goodness and badness. The supreme life that I'm talking about this, so you must close the way of knowledge. The consciousness that knowing is unestimable, is infinity. Keep knowing again and again in this birth, in this realm, in this world, becoming this, becoming that. Never stop. Don't know when it's gonna end with this vijnana, this consciousness. If you know by the consciousness, this is the Mara, the devil, for your whole life. But if you know by the power of the Buddha, know by the power of wisdom and knowledge, then it will destroy the station of birth and death. End of birth and death right here, right now. Not any minute, any second that will build birth and death, birth and becoming again. So what is knowing by the wisdom knowledge? Is know and cut. Know and cut, know and let go. Know and cut is a winner. Know and let go is a liberation. That's all. And what else do you want? You study whole day and practice all night, so what you want? I summarize the Dharma for the supreme life for you today. The right practice. Know and leave, see and cut, and end of everything. But if you know but you don't cut, if you see you don't leave, so it's never end. It's keep running, keep going. Then you carry 5 hindrances. Cannot close the way of the bad karma. Cannot be free from the defilement. And hold it, carry it, attach on it. Then the defilements sleep inside you, and the hindrances block the way to you. Because now in a few days we will finish in this practice, but I see that after finish the practice, then you go back to be the same, nothing different. I should be ashamed with the monkey, because now I teach people all day all night, but no one come out clean. I can teach and tell the turtle stop eating, so they listen to me. But when I teach you, you still want to get involved with the body. If you don't attach on the body, so no body. Because the body just live the way it is. Because it's impermanent, soon or later, this body will die. We know like this again and again and again, deeper, more and more and more. The knowledge that we know like this is not the knowledge, but this is the Dharma. It's the Chanato Passato. Know and see, know and see, know and see. This is Chanato Passato. Like seeing this, knowing this all the time. But for me, I just knowing, seeing like this all the time. So in this the end of the Dharma talk that I talking about the supreme life, that we should cut the bad karma. Don't bring your knowledge, your intelligence to show off yourself. You should know that the knowledge should stop. The intelligence should be cool. The real knowledge is stop. No more birth, no more death. And then the coolness is the nirvana. How could we know like this? Know and cool. Know and stop. Know and cut. Know and leave. What will cut? What will leave? You don't need to do anything. Set the fire in the darkness, then everything is bright. Birth and death, if we cut them, then it's end. It stop immediately. When the birth happen and it stop immediately, birth happen and end immediately. If we don't connect the head, don't connect the leg, the arm to them, then the form and the mind is stop and is gone immediately. Then the form impermanent, the form suffering, the form non-self is end immediately. No more this world, no more next world, no more any world, even though the six senses still exist. The eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body still exist, but nothing to get involved. Okay, I hope you understand this Dharma and follow the right practice that I suggest to you. So it's end with the Dharma talk today. And thank you for listening with this Dharma. Please like and share and subscribe and share to your friend if you see that this Dharma is the good benefit for you. And thank you so much.